In Joshua chapter 5, we read how Israel finally makes it over the Jordan, out of the wilderness and into the promised land. And Joshua 5 is brought up into three different aspects. The first one, as they cross over, the Lord commands Joshua to have all the men circumcised. Apparently, for 40 years, they were never circumcised. They rebelled against the Lord and they never circumcised their young men. I find this whole thing interesting because as Moses would begin his ministry on the way to see Pharaoh, God would have Moses circumcise his sons. And now on the way into the promised land, Joshua is commanded to circumcise the sons of Israel. Well, what is circumcision? It's a cutting away of the flesh. It is to develop a sensitivity. Well, it's an outward expression of an internal sensitivity. I think as believers, we need to have the flesh of our heart cut off, that we can have a sensitivity to the voice of the Lord. The second thing we see in Joshua chapter 5 is that they celebrate the Passover. And as they celebrate the Passover, they eat the fruit or the food of the land, and the manna stops. And they can see that for 40 years, God was faithful. Even in their uncircumcised rebellion, God was faithful to provide manna for 40 years as it would come in. And for you and I as Christians, what do we see? The Passover is, I think, of communion, where Christ would break the bread and say, "This is my body, and this cup is the new covenant in my blood, which was shed for the remission of sins." And so we stop and we remember not only his presence, but the cost, the love of Christ, who for the joy set before him endured the cross. And the third aspect of Joshua chapter 5 is the fact that he met, as he would approach Jericho, the captain of the Lord of hosts. Joshua would come up and say, "Are you for us or our enemies?" And he would say, "No, I come as commander of the Lord of hosts." He's not there to take sides, but to take command. And there Joshua would be told to remove his sandals, for he's on holy ground. And he would worship him and say, "What would you have your servant do?" Okay, you and I as believers, as we walk in this newness of Christ, we are to have our hearts circumcised for a sensitivity of the Spirit and the word of the Lord. We are to celebrate the communion and remember the price and the love. And we are to be obedient and worship the Lord, the commander of hosts. God bless you guys.